What is going on, people? Leah here from Creative Tech Lab, and we are back today with another video. This one is kind of special, a little unexpected. I had an impulse moment and I went to just do it. This is an unboxing video for the Sony RX100 VII. So if you guys know anything about the channel, if you've been following along, I did a lot of content. I've only done 20 videos. The vast majority of those have been about the RX100 VI. I did a reaction video to when the 7 was announced, explaining that I had a lot more content planned for this series of cameras and that I would keep doing them on the 6 because I wasn't sure if the 7 was worth upgrading for, especially since I plan on getting an interchangeable lens camera that should capture all the features that were in the 7. However, I thought that my point of view might be kind of valuable. People seem to like the RX100 videos that I've done on the 6, so I decided to go ahead, pick one up. There was a small discount that I got on B&H Photo, so let's go ahead, open it up, we'll do the unboxing, and then we'll talk a little bit about the camera, and then I'll tell you what the plans are to put it through its paces in a little bit. But first and foremost, welcome to Creative Tech Lab. My name is Leo. This is the YouTube channel to accompany our website, creativetechlab.com, where we do tend to talk about all things creative, including mainly, as we're talking about here, run and gun videography, some audio engineering, some audio production, everything sprinkled in there. Website is still being updated. YouTube channel mainly has the videography stuff like we're talking about today with the run and gun videography. But again, as we build out the platform, a lot more content to come. So if you're into any kind of creativity, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. You will not be disappointed, and I would greatly appreciate it. But let's get into the unboxing of the Sony RX100 VII. Alright, so I actually have two boxes, more in the second box in a minute. It's over here off to the side. I have well, I guess I'll just cut to it. I have an overhead camera running. I'm not too sure how that will work out. I assume this is the box that we're looking for, so hopefully it doesn't work. If you just saw my bloopers, I got a box cutter. I'm not cool enough to have a knife like the Peter McKinnons and those people of the world, but let's go ahead, chop this up open and see what we got. So, and get some nice sound design there maybe. Is this the right box? Yep, I guess right, based on the side. So this is it, Sony RX100 VII. Not sure how that looks on the overhead camera, but yeah, doesn't look too much different than the Mark 6 box, which I have somewhere over there, which I'm actually filming on now. The biggest change, I think for me, if you look at my setup here right now, I do have off-board audio, which is plugged into the computer, which I'm recording in here, no microphone in on this camera, so that actually would speed up my workflow a lot, which if I could sell the Mark 6 for a reasonable price, the couple $100s that I would lose switching to this might be worth it even in the short term as I wait for the Sony a7S III to drop, because I do spend, it does take me a couple of extra steps to sync audio and then mix it in Logic and then bring it over and sync it in Final Cut Pro. So that might be worth a couple of $100. I don't know. I have to do a valuation on my time, but let's see here. We have papers that nobody cares about. Papers there. Let's see there. Charging brick. I already have one of those, but go ahead, take it out. Charging brick, as you can see there. Sony charging brick. The one thing that I actually wish they did do instead of their charging brick, I don't know if anybody's mentioned this in their unboxing, but I really wish they would actually include the little charging case that they make so you could charge it outside the camera. That would be super useful. We have a micro USB cable. Don't need that. I have a ton of those. Then we have the little strap. when Everyday Dad did his unboxing, he was asking if anybody uses that. I use mine from time to time if I'm just walking around and stuff, especially if it's not gonna fit into my pocket, then I use that. What is this here? You have the little clips, the little straps if you want to put a strap on it. I don't use those. If I do use it and I use a strap, there is a Sony leather case. I'll link to that down below as far as accessories go. And then this is it. This is the camera. Oh, gotta hold it down here so I could get it in my shot. And yeah, it looks a little bit more brand new than the one that I have, and the one that I have has the LensMate filter adapter on it. So let me just open it up real quick and let's see how it looks. All right, so let's move those out the way, move all that. Oh, and we have the battery, which if this is your first time getting this camera, you will need a ton of these little things. I actually have 2 is decent depending on how much you're shooting. If you're traveling with this camera and you're gonna be out all day, kind of like I was on some of my vacations, you need 3. Especially if you're shooting 120p or you're shooting 4K, definitely need 3. And for backup, I did 4. I think 4 is a little bit overkill. What I ended up doing instead was, most of the times, was those little black batteries. If I can find one, I think one is over there charging right now. The portable charger, I just plug those in if I need to charge or I'm down on batteries and stuff. So yeah, this is it. It looks almost identical to the 6. It just says 7, but let's get the battery in there and turn it on and see if there's anything different about the menus and stuff. Let's just do everything on camera. Let's go ahead and get the battery in here. So battery pack opens like that. Battery says it goes this way. There's no memory card. Let's see if they shipped it with any juice. They did. So I don't know if you could see that, but I think that's zoomed in all the way. So I'm actually shooting with a 5 up top. Yeah, I'm shooting with the 5 up top. If you notice, this is as close as I could get to the screen. If that was a 6 up top or a 7 up top and I was shooting that 5, I bet I could get right up on that menu. So if you see my review, link up here about the 6 and the reach being worth it. Again, I think it is, especially as a YouTube channel. Let's see, set date and time and area. New York/Bogota. Didn't know those 2 things go together, but yeah, that's good enough. Daylight savings on. Date and time not set. Today is whatever day it is that you're watching this video, because I don't know when I'm going to edit it and shoot it, but whatever my watch says on today, and we're going to act like it's the same time wherever it is that you are. Now 4:01. Man, it's almost time to go get the little homies. Alright. Boom. That works. Enter. Imaging Edge is asking for Imaging Edge. You can go here to set up the application. That's a new Sony app. I don't think I've done a video on how to connect the Imaging Edge app to the camera through your phone, and that gives you some usability there. I know I did do that in that's the app that I was using in my very first video with the hack gimbal on this thing, but we will I'll probably do a video on that. That'll probably be one of the videos I do, whether or not I decide to keep it. And yeah, let's just jump around here. Screen to me looks a little bit brighter, but that could also just be like what we have here. I typically use this thing in movie mode. Interestingly, this one came set to 60p. We already have our channel stuff up there. Let's see, I would change this here. Exposure mode. We're going straight to manual because who shoots auto? But if you do shoot auto on this, it probably works just fine. Let's also see menus. Nope, file format is right there. Screen looks to be a little bit sharper on this. I'm not sure. Frame rate. Let's go to what we would vlog in, 24p. Looks like everything's the same there. And yeah, there's a bunch of other stuff that would set up, but menus and stuff look the same. Let me just double check that real quick. They probably have a couple of extra things in there for the new not white balance, the new autofocus and stuff. So let's see there, all that stuff. So all these menus and stuff I will set up and customize the camera. I did a video to like my cinematic settings. So I primarily use this camera to shoot video. I do take some stills, but I don't take as many stills. I really shoot video, run and gun travel stuff. I'll link to some of my travel videos that I've done. And by the time you see this, I'll already start editing 2 new ones that we have coming up. And I'll be going to Florida next week. I'm probably going to shoot one for the Cocoa Beach, Merritt Island area. But you definitely want to check out how to set this up here. There's a couple of different buttons that you can customize. So yeah, everything else about the camera seems to be the same except for that right there, which we all know. Let's go ahead and put it on here as well. See, we could focus on that. Can we focus on that? Oh, face auto detector's on. Let's cover my face. There you go. And that's the microphone jack. So that's one of the biggest things video wise. So the 2 biggest things as a video shooter for this camera, different from the one that I'm shooting on. Suppose we could do continuous 4K shooting. I don't have to shoot in 4K. This video is being shot in 1080p. My uploads to YouTube are 1080p, but it's always good, especially if you're going to be using this as like your main camera like I have for the past few months, YouTube and such. It's always great to have something that's 4K because you kind of want to future-proof yourself for the next few years. Even though most people are watching on a phone or on a HD type TV, you still want something that will look good a few years from now. So unlimited 4K once it is that you change the temperature settings. So I know there's been some confusions and some YouTubers and stuff getting the camera and not being able to record. Some people that I've seen have already said they've been able to shoot for extended periods of time, so that's pretty cool. So definitely want to check that out and see how it overheats. And I can tell you, every once in a while, I actually get an overheat warning just here inside the house. I think I mentioned that in my 1-year review when I'm shooting in 1080p. Now, sometimes during the summertime, when the house gets really hot and if I'm shooting for an extended period of time. But 4K definitely will overheat eventually, even if you're trying to chop up 5-minute clips. The other day I was shooting and I didn't turn the air conditioning down. Too cold in the house, so that became an issue. On the 5, it was a complete joke. It was basically, I was shooting a video about the 6. On the 5, it wouldn't work. It took me forever to film like just a 10-minute clip. So yeah, so the plan for this is on my, I don't have, actually let me just grab the cell phone since the 5 is up there. Let's jump into Filmic Pro real quick. So just so I could get this shot. So on the front of mine, you see I have that LensMate filter there. I am waiting to get one of those, and once that comes in, I think it should be in the mailbox. It might even be in the mailbox right now. Once that comes in, I'm gonna take this one off. I was gonna buy a whole new one, but apparently you could get the adhesives that stick to this. I'm gonna take this adapter off of the 6, put it onto the 7, then we'll have ND filter. That's the other big thing that's missing. I don't have a microphone that's really small enough to fit into this. I do have my lav microphone. So for the vlog test, I'll just stick the lav and just stick it in there, and we'll see how that works in terms of having the microphone there. And then we'll do a bunch of different videos. I'll show you guys how to get some cool cinematic shots. I plan on doing like an epic B-roll thing. We'll go through picture profiles, we'll go through all those things, but most of that stuff will happen outside of the house, not here in the house, or just talking head stuff. And I might even get that Saramonic mic that a bunch of people have. So I'll do the vlogging test. Oh, and before we go, one more second. The other box, let's just tease it because that's the next video to get going, and we'll see how that goes. The other box to unbox is a gimbal for this camera. I'm big into gimbals. I did the one on the Webuild Lab. I made the hot gimbal, which I loved, and I'm actually giving one of those away for my 100 subscriber celebration. Thank you to everybody again that has subscribed. So next video, we'll go ahead, we'll open up this box, which will be a gimbal specific for this camera. Super excited for that, and then we'll do a whole vlog setup with that. So I will catch you in the next video. That was just a quick unboxing of the Sony RX100 Mark VII, letting you know that I have it, and we will catch you in the next one. And the next few videos will probably be just dedicated to this, because I want to get as much done and as much shot with it to see if I want to keep it. I'm still not 100% sold, but these next few days will let me know if 6 is worth more than 7. I can already tell you though that if you don't have a camera and you're looking for a great point and shoot, just go ahead and get the 7. You will not be disappointed, but I would still do some valuable content for those people, and for anybody that has the 6, thinks about going to 7, I'll have my opinion on that soon. So again, you don't want to miss the next couple of videos if you're into this camera. This is Creative Tech Lab. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. You will not be disappointed, and I will catch you in the next one. Deuces, peace, see you soon.